What's going on, guys? This is Uche, and before I even start, I'd like to make a special request of you. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Share, like. I'm trying to be better at, growing this channel. In this channel, we talk about sneakers. We talk about money. We talk about education. So, if any of this ever interests you and you're like, you like the way I present my contents, share, like, thumbs up, even thumbs down, let me know, give me feedback on how I can make this better. But nonetheless, I appreciate those of you who are subscribing and also appreciate those of you who are not subscribing but are here nonetheless to partake of this content. All right, to today's sneaker conversation. So you already know from the thumbnail what the sneaker is. But I have to say something. I'm probably going to be super unpopular for my opinion about the sneaker. First of all, off the bat, I think it's a dope colorway. Like it's a phenomenal colorway. When I first saw it, I was like, yo, I gotta get my hands on that. And fortunately, I was able to get an early pair to take a look at. And I really appreciate this opportunity to actually have this in hand because, again, this is not one of those channels that is like, I have 100,000 subscribers with thousands and thousands of views. I'm just the lowly sneaker head who's a principal who loves sneakers and likes to talk about them. That's it. So, right here, I have to present to you the Jordan 1 Mocha. And looking at it does not disappoint. The color blocking with the black wrap around the toe, this right here is just iconic Jordan 1s. And I feel like when it's time a pair of Jordan 1s to come out with that blocking right there, off the bat, you're like, yo, I gotta get those, and so it's just dope. But then this Mocha right here, first of all, we already know Travis Scott, the Travis Scott ones with the reverse swoosh, but this color right here was a color that I think this got stuck into our brains and became iconic because of how hyped and how hard it was to get those sneakers. I don't have them; I've never had them in hand. But so to have the opportunity to have that colorway kind of applied to this iconic color blocking, dope. But I know I started this video by saying that my opinion about sneakers might not be that popular. So I'll tell you right now, what I'm looking at right here, this right here, it's a beautiful sneaker, beautiful. The sail colorway throughout the shoe, the mocha, the black, it just works. The whole thing just works. The tongue, the Nike Air, it just works. But this is where it kind of falls apart for me. When I first got it, I got it in my hand, I touched it. I was like, wait a minute, what am I touching here? Let me take out the shoe tree. I'm like, what am I touching here? Because beautiful. And I'm feeling this. I'm like, this feels like the generic Jordan 1s that you would get. That's just a general release. There's going to be thousands and thousands and thousands of pairs, and that's what this feels like. It's leather. It's a good quality leather, but it's not what I expected. And I'll tell you why it's not what I expected. So the only way this makes sense is that I show you something else that proves my point. Here we go. Bloodline. Those of you who have the shoes, and yes, I do wear my sneakers. When you hold this, there's a soft, waxy feel to this, and the sneaker itself just. When you look at it right there, like you can see how it just It crinkles at the touch. It's a sturdy leather, but it's a soft, sturdy Leather. The toe box. I don't know if this camera is too. If it might be too bright. Let me turn this down a little bit. Let me get my ISO down a little bit. Okay. So let's look at this right here. Okay. This right here, super soft. Soft to the point where you don't have to worry about this creasing, but it's just so soft that you might want to put the shield in there to kind of keep it up. But even without, it's not gonna crease. It's just a soft. It's not like my forehead that has a permanent crease in it. This right here is gonna crease. It's not gonna crease. It's just gonna bend and kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. It just kind of like rolls in a way, but it doesn't take away from the sneaker. But it's almost like you just know that this is a much high quality leather, and the tumble and all that. It's just different, and this doesn't have the same feel. This feels so much more plasticier. But it's a beautiful shoe. It's beautiful, but it doesn't feel like this. Okay, some of you might be like, okay, no, this was a somewhat hyped shoe, but it's not super hyped. But that's why I'm using this as an example, because this is a shoe that definitely didn't get the same level of hype that this one did. But the leather on here is much better, and I beg anyone to argue against me with that. It's just a better shoe. And the funny thing also is just even the tongue. Well, I guess they're kind of the same. Well, no, I mean, I guess maybe it's just because this hasn't been broken in. But something about this is overall was just made better. Okay. Some of you might say, "Oh, that's just one example," because it's still a dope shoe. It's just the quality is just part of the design of it. All right, fine. I will grab something else that should be similar to this. All right. Again, I wear my sneakers, the red toes. This right here also, again, the feel of this, much softer. You can even see, let me see if that zooms in. You can even see the natural wrinkles in the leather in this one. I put a toe shield in this because it did the same thing, that kind of crumple, but it doesn't crease. It just kind of crumples in there, you know. Again, this is supposed to be a similar blocking, the toe and everything else, but this leather here is very different from this one. Even when I hold it to the camera, this is what it looked like when I first got it, brand new, and this that softness you see off the bat is not here. This shoe is not a soft leather at all, and it's like, it's just a standard. It looks like a standard Jordan 1. And if anything, I would say it's nothing wrong with a standard, because the original Jordan 1s, the Breads, the Royal Blues, the Shadows were all like this. But it just seems weird that in the era now when Jordan would do premium materials on sneakers, that on this sneaker it would come out looking like this. And this is a contender for sneaker of the year. And I don't think that colorway by itself is enough for this to be a sneaker of the year. I just don't think so. But that's just my opinion. Again, I'm a lowly, broke sneakerhead, high school principal. I don't know nothing really about sneakers like that. I just have my personal opinions. I'm going to show you one more sneaker to show you that the two I've already showed you kind of like explains why this doesn't make any sense. Because I showed you the Bloodline, which was a shoe that was not hard to get. Resale value now is pretty decent, but it wasn't hard to get. Then the red toes, which were maybe a little bit hard to get, but still very similar materials. Then, of course, the last but not least, the reverse shattered backboard. Okay, this leather, this material in here, the side panel, toe, very similar to this, very similar to this. However, The only thing I would say that's probably more like, I don't know. Even the I would say, because I know with the shadow backboards, the original ones, that that was a much better leather than this, right? But still, even though the to- the, the, the heel, the wrap around the toe, the material here feels more like the standard, Jordan 1 leather you would have on there. But still, at least the side panels are still that buttery, soft, tumbled leather, And here, this is just all around normal. Nothing wrong with normal. I'll still rock the mess out of these. But when you put them all together, you know, it just doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up, especially seeing the bloodline like this. Okay, it just doesn't add up. So I say this to say that, kind of, sort of, in a way, the nature of the hype beast mindset is leading people to be taken advantage of. You can't see this and say this is, oh my God, the best thing ever this year, blah blah blah. It's so much closer to Travis Scott. It's not. I never owned a pair of Travis Scotts, but I've seen enough videos and I've heard enough from people who actually own a pair to say this is nowhere close to it. But that's what made me actually think to myself, if this is nowhere close to Travis Scott, what is it close to? Not the bloodline, not the red toes, not the reverse shadow backboard, which means not a lot of sneakers, not a lot of Jordan 1 sneakers that have the tumbled premium soft leather. This is just a standard sneaker, Jordan 1 sneaker. Still dope, but it's not anything that I expected. But again, I want to say this. I'm going to rock the mess out of this and put these away. I'm still going to rock the mess out of this Mocha, and I'm going to be fly rocking them. But I just want to acknowledge the fact that the hype around these being just the best sneaker of the year and all that stuff, it's not true. It's not true. It's not. There are sneakers that came out this year that had better materials. It might not have had the same, just the beauty of this, but very close. Again, the Concept Japan Midnight Navy materials, dope, dope, better than this by far. Then I would even say the Lucky Green, same thing, and I've had both of those sneakers in hand, and definitely without a doubt, material wise, better than the Mocha. But, and again, colorway wise, this is a dope, 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 and it's definitely a neck breaker because of and I'll probably say mostly because of the hype around it. But I definitely don't mind owning these, and I definitely will make sure to enjoy them really well. I'd like to give a shout out to City Jeans for allowing me to have an early look at these. Stores all around the city. I will put in the description where the closest City Jeans is to you if you live in New York City. Again, thank you for indulging me. But again, I'm not saying do not get these. If you can get these, get them. Get them, get them, get them. I just had a critical thought in my brain about, if these are not as good as Travis Scott's, what are they as good as material wise? And the reality is that it's just standard. But one thing I will say is the suede on here, decent suede, very decent suede. I've seen better, but not bad, not bad at all. All right, again, thank you so much for the opportunity to share with you my opinion. Have a good night, be well, and I'll talk to you all soon. All right, peace. Find my way to the end of this video.